Welcome back into Great Day Washington. This segment is sponsored by John C. Flood. Okay, this winter has been mild, but don't rule out a big freeze because that could be coming. You know, we saw it over the holidays. So here are some tips to help us prepare for colder temps. Is Chris Thompson from John C. Flood. Good to see you.
It's good to see you again.
I mean, we're talking 60s tomorrow, but we know that cold weather is coming, right, Chris? You guys are ready.
I don't particularly like cold weather, but unfortunately in our industry it is necessary. But yes, it will happen and you need to be prepared. And
we saw, especially those like a few really cold days we had over Christmas time, a lot of situation with the pipes freezing. Why is that a problem?
Well, like anything else, I'm sure everybody's had a can of Coca-Cola or anything that's been in your freezer, and as anything else, they know liquid expands and it will burst. So just like that, your pipes will do the same thing. So you want to be careful to make sure that when it does get very, very cold, that most people, common sense is we will know that your pipes could freeze and burst. So you want to protect your pipes and make sure that you keep your cabinet doors open so the heat gets in there. It's things you would think to be common sense, like your garage door, make sure your garage door is closed. Anything that can allow heat to get to your pipes. Obviously insulate pipes that are in attic spaces or closed areas, anything that's close to your exterior walls, because obviously that's going to be the coldest areas.
Right. So keeping as much heat in
and
as much cold out. I've seen too, like, wrapping pipes. Does that work?
You can go to hardware stores. They do have inexpensively any type of insulation. You could do it yourself. It's very easy to do. And you can go to hardware stores and just make sure your pipes are wrapped, insulated. And if you're desperate, you can use towels, anything to keep those pipes warm.
How else, like, I mean, I know we'll turn off the water to the outside, like the sprinkler and stuff. Can you turn off water? Like, I mean, obviously you need it in your home. But.
Right. Well, the main thing too is off your main shutoff valve. That's something that a lot of people, if we tell them when they call and they say they have there's flooding in their home, we tell them you need to shut off your main shutoff valve, and they're like, I don't know where that is. So one of the things you want to make sure that you have always identified where that is and tag it. Our technicians a lot of times will do that for you, but obviously if in that case you want to know where that is because you want to shut off the water to your entire home, and that can happen with any type of flooding, not just a burst pipe. But any type of flooding, it's always good to know where that is. And even if you think you know where that is, you know, in emergency situations, people tend to start to have some irrational things going on.
Most people, if I were to go down there, I wouldn't know what's what. So like, if people are like me, can we just call you and you guys come out and kind of show us where everything is?
Yeah, and you can call us so we can probably troubleshoot it remotely, because obviously people with FaceTime or phones, we can certainly help you remotely. And it typically is in similar areas, but depending on your home, how old your home is, it can be in very different portions of homes, and it's just a little valve thing, but some people, there are different areas that can have something that looks similar, so you just want to make sure you're turning the right one in the right direction.
And then is there a time frame that's good, like if we know a deep freeze is coming, to turn off water or whatever ahead of time, or if it's like in the middle of a freeze and we forget, we're like, oh, my pipes, it's going to be cold.
Right. Well, you can keep your water running a little bit.
You want to keep it running, right? A little.
Right, out of the faucets. It's something running through those pipes, so it's basically got water going through it, which will help. So that's one of the big things. Like I said, just keep your cabinets open. Anything you can do to keep the pipes, once things start dropping very, very quickly, as warm as possible.
Even if it's just like a drip,
right? Like a drip.
Just keep, because once it's sitting there, then that's really where it's going to expand.
Right.
Gotcha. I'm learning so much from you, Chris. Okay, and then you talked about maybe troubleshooting remotely, but if the pipes burst, what do we do?
Well, that's first thing you do is try not to panic, which is the first thing most people will do. But like you say, you want to find your shutoff valve and make sure that wherever I would not say to try to diagnose this. I know people say they'll try to take hair dryers or things like that. You could probably do more damage, but the first thing you want to do is probably try to locate where it is. But obviously, if you turn your water on, there's no water coming through. Your first thought is either a pipe's frozen somewhere.
Right.
So the first thing is obviously to find your main shutoff valve and turn that off, because at some point when that thaws out, if it is burst, that's when the water is going to now be able to find its weakest point and it's going to make a mess.
Okay. The main thing, find that valve, turn that water off if anything.
And then obviously you can try to find out where it is, but a lot of people are not going to be able to. That's when you call a professional plumber to come out and try to diagnose and figure out where that has occurred.
Since we've had milder temperatures, could people, like if they have an older home, maybe get it checked out now? Is it too late?
No. They can certainly get it checked out now. It's always better to be preemptive.
Right.
I would say it's better to be proactive than reactive.
I like that.
Right.
I've got so many things on my to-do list now, Chris.
In our industry, that does not happen a lot. Usually nobody does anything until something breaks or bursts or doesn't work. So it's usually You can say when it's warmer, you can do that, but when it's warmer, most people are going to be outside, and they're not going to think about it until
it happens. Well, we appreciate you helping us be proactive about it. If you would like to learn more about how to prepare your home for colder temperatures, just head to johncflood.com.